Hey, how y'all doing out there? Once again, I'm back with another video, and this time I'm going to do my full review of the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, this is the big brother of the smaller OnePlus 7. Now, as I said in my review of that phone, I ended up taking that phone back because, it was just a little too narrow for me. However, I did like that phone, but it was just a little too narrow. It did have the storage capacity I liked, but it just was a little too narrow for me, and I like phones a little taller, a little wider. Now, my assessment of this device for the last few weeks I've had it has been very positive. However, there are some things I didn't like about the device. But just to start out, the phone comes with a lot on it. I mean, it's really loaded, it's almost like it's basically a flagship device, but at a way lower price. So you can pick up this phone for just a little over $600. Most flagships that have these kind of specs that this phone has usually will cost you $1,000 or more these days. But this phone comes with a Quad HD display, Quad HD AMOLED display at 6.67 inches, 1440 by 3120. It has Gorilla Glass 5 on it. It has triple cameras on the back. One is a 48 megapixel, which is your main shooter. You have a 16 megapixel, which is your ultra wide, and you have an 8 megapixel, which is the telephoto. This particular variant comes with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. However, they do have two other larger variants, one at 8 gigs, 256, and one at 12 gigs, 256, and of course they cost a little bit more money. You have dual LED flash video. This phone also records in 4K resolution at 30 frames or 60 frames per second. It also records at 1080p resolution at 30 frames or 60 frames per second. It also has super slow motion at 1080p at 240 frames per second, and also 720p video at 480 frames per second. It has time-lapse video editor, and it also has a 16 megapixel pop-up camera, which I'll show you that a little later on. Comes with an in-display fingerprint sensor. It has HDR plus compliance. It has a 90 hertz refresh rate, which I'll demonstrate that a little later. So it comes with dual stereo speakers. So the phone is really loaded with a lot. I mean, you're not paying a whole lot to get a whole lot. Of course, it's missing some things. Now, in the box, it did come with a pre-installed screen protector, which I left on there. Some people take it off because they want better ones. And it also came with a case. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. So let me get into the things that I didn't like first, and then I'll get into all the things that I did like about the device. Number one, no headphone jack. Now, as I said in previous videos, I prefer devices that have headphone jacks because wired headphones sound better than Bluetooth. However, Bluetooth headphones have come a long way. The latency is not as bad, and they also sound a lot better, but they still don't match the quality sound of wired headphones. So that's the first thing I don't like about this device, that it has no headphone jack, and it didn't even come with a dongle in the box, which is unfortunate. This phone, number two, this phone has no expandable memory. So whatever memory you get, whether it be 128 or 256, that's what you're stuck with. And eventually, if you fill it up, you'll have to delete some things. That's why I prefer devices that have expandable memory. So you could always have more storage. You could always just drop in the SD card and keep it moving. You could have a bunch of them and just take one out, put another one in. You never have to be worrying about running out of storage. So that's unfortunate that, it doesn't have any expandable memory. And that's a big deal to me. However, if you get 256 gigs, you can make it work. Number 3, no wireless charging. Now, I have no idea why OnePlus would make an all-glass phone but won't install wireless charging. And this is something that people have been complaining about for the last 3 years with OnePlus, wanting and desiring wireless charging. They saying if they install wireless charging, they'll have to charge more, which is nonsense, because if you add these things, people will pay the money for the convenience. Nothing more convenient than just sticking your phone on top of a wireless charger and being done with it. You don't have to plug anything up or anything. When you're done charging it, you just take it right off and just keep it moving. So I like the fact that that a lot of more devices are getting wireless charging, and OnePlus still refuses to put wireless charging on their phone, and it's unfortunate, but it doesn't come with wireless charging. They think their warp charging is good enough because the phone charges really fast and you don't need wireless charging. But I don't carry around my warp charger with me. I leave it at home. So if I have a wireless charging, say, a little battery thing that has wireless charging, it'd be nice just to be able to sit my phone on top of that and just keep it moving. But they don't, so it is what it is. Number 4, no IP68 water and dust resistance rating. However, OnePlus claims that if you drop it in the sink, drop it in the tub or something, and you take it out real quick, you'll suffer no damage. But they didn't want to pay for the IP68 rating because they felt like they'd have to raise the price. And raise the price, because if you're putting all these things on the device, people will buy it and they will love it, and they will like the fact that you've given them all of these high-end things like wireless charging, expandable memory, and water and dust resistance. This is what people want. Number 5, the cameras are not on a flagship level. The cameras are good, don't get me wrong. They're high quality, but they're not as good as, say, Samsung Note 9, the LG phones, the Pixel, of course, iPhone, and also Huawei P30 Pro. Can't compete. This is the one thing that OnePlus still has to get a lot better at, is the cameras. Now, they did improve the camera from the time they released the device, because they sent in a couple of updates. Now, just real quickly, I'll show you a few photos and I'll let you be the judge. Now, this is a photo of my baby here. Now, I took this photo on yesterday. It's a pretty good photo. However, it does make her skin a little reddish, that's not her natural tone. But overall, it's a decent picture, but it's just, not her natural skin tone. Go to the next one. Now, this one is a lot closer to her natural skin tone. And I think this photo here is pretty nice, not bad. Now, this one, you could clearly see, if you could see it, she's a lot more reddish on this one. So the color reproduction on this one wasn't too good. Here's one of me that I took. Not bad. Could be a lot better. I'm using a selfie camera for this one. And also I think one was just regular and one was portrait mode. So I think I like the portrait mode a little bit better, even though it could still be better than what it was. That's another picture I took of her. Now, this one is nice. Not bad. With certain lighting, the pictures come out pretty well. And you have this one. Now, this one is one of my favorites because that room was not that lit up like that. It was pretty dim. So the night sight on here, or the night mode they use for the camera, it's pretty impressive. It really lit that picture up pretty bright. So it's not a horrible camera, but it's not a flagship camera either. Alrighty. So back to number 6, constant accidental touches on the display, which is extremely annoying. Every time I'm watching a YouTube video and I handle the phone at all, it'll go right to the next video. Now, the curved displays has run its course. It's time to go back to flat screens. I know these curved displays look nice, but it's really time to just go back to a flat screen, because I'm not the only one that's complaining about these accidental touches. They're very annoying, and I don't like that. So that's something I don't like. Number 7, for some reason I've been having issues with my RAM management a lot lately. I've had to reload apps, which it's very strange because this thing has 6 gigs of RAM, so I'm really surprised that the RAM management has not been better than what it is. So my RAM management on this device has not been great. Next thing, no always on display. You turn the display off, you get nothing. On my Note 9, Note 8, LG V30, you have an always on display. Even my Honor Note 10 has an always on display, even though it's not functional, but at least they have it. OnePlus puts nothing on here. The only way you can see anything is if you have to pick up the device and lean it, and then you'll see your time, your the date, the battery percentage, and the fingerprint sensor. But it's so fast. It's really fast. See the fingerprint sensor right there? Now it'll be nice if that screen was always on. You'd always know where it was at, and as soon as you pick up your phone, you can just press it in and just be done with it. So I'm gonna show you how fast this in-display fingerprint sensor is. I mean, it's instant. It comes on extremely fast, so that's impressive. But I don't like the fact that the display doesn't stay on. Unlocking my phone recently has been an issue. It's like I can't consistently just open the phone with the fingerprint sensor. For some reason, it keeps forcing me to use my either my pen or my I forgot what you call it then. My swipe gestures, and I don't like that. Like, why are you constantly forcing me to use my secondary security thing to open up my phone? Why can't I just use the fingerprint sensor on a regular basis? So I don't know why it's doing that, but that's extremely annoying. Number 10, no headphones in the box or USB-C dongle in the box. I don't understand that, because you're paying over $600. You can at least give me a pair of headphones. And if you don't give me the headphones, can you at least give me the dongle, since you took away the headphone jack? So I don't like that. Okay? So those are the 10 things I don't like about the device. Now I'll start getting into the things that I do like about the device. Number one thing I love about this device is the display. The display is absolutely beautiful. It's a Quad HD display with a 90 hertz refresh rate. Now, let me give you an idea what I mean by the 90 hertz refresh rate. Say let's go into YouTube and you want to scroll. You see how fast this thing scrolls? I mean, it's like super fast and it's buttery smooth. That's what 90 hertz look like. Now, I don't know if the video is giving it any justice, but that's super, super fast and buttery smooth. Like, I don't have any other device that scrolls like that. That's impressive. So that 90 hertz refresh rate is the truth. I love it. Okay. It's a large 6.67 inch display, which I love. It's very, very bright. I have mine on max brightness because that's what I prefer. I like my phones to be bright. It also, as you can see, has no bezels at the top, no bezel at the bottom, or if it does have a bezel at the bottom, it's so thin it's almost non-existent. So it's pretty much a bezel-less display. So you're getting more display. So I love that. And it also has HDR10. So when you're watching HDR content on YouTube or either videos you download, the screen is absolutely beautiful. It's just beautiful. All right. Number 2, the battery life. Now, the battery life on this device has been extremely impressive to me. I can get 2 days on average out of this battery, which is about, now I know you may say this is not considered 2 days, but I'm getting over 33 hours of usage on this battery with one charge. Over 33 hours on one charge. So that's impressive. Now it also comes with warp charging, which means you can charge your device from 0 to 50% in 21 minutes. Now that's fast. The standby time is also excellent on this device as well. So basically, if I don't use the phone, I don't charge it, I leave it overnight uncharged, it might lose a maximum of 3 or 4% overnight. So it basically sips battery. So the battery is optimized very, very well. Comes with a big 4,000 milliamp battery. That's the biggest battery that OnePlus has ever put in any of their devices, because the OnePlus 7 had a 37 milliamp battery. 3700 milliamp battery, and the battery life in that phone was impressive as well. But I'm talking about over 33 hours of battery life using the 90 hertz refresh rate, because you have the option to do 60 or 90, and I said I'm gonna stick with the 90 because I want to see if the battery drain is substantial, like so many reviewers have been saying that the battery drains a lot faster when you're in 90 hertz. So I said I want to see for myself. I'm gonna leave it 90 hertz and I'm gonna see if the battery just goes down a lot. And honestly, it really doesn't. Honestly, I mean, over almost 34 hours on one charge. So the 90 hertz refresh rate is not an issue, at least not for me. It doesn't drain. My battery life is not an issue for me, because that's almost 2 days of battery life. So battery life is no issue whatsoever. It's excellent on this phone. It's actually better than my Note 9, but my Note 9 is an older device, but it's never gotten over 30 hours on one charge. So it is better than my Note 9 with a higher refresh rate. So that's impressive to me. All right, next, this thing has dual stereo speakers and they sound great. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna put on a movie for you and let you hear the speakers yourself. Let me find a movie. Let's go adventure movie.
수혈하고 세포 샘플 빨리 준비하세요. Lab's all set up, boss.
Oh, actually, he's the boss. I just pay for everything and design everything and make everyone look cooler.
What's the word on Strucker?
NATO's got him.
The two enhanced?
Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, twins. Orphaned at 10 when a shell collapsed their apartment building. Sokovia's had a rough history.
I don't know if you can hear the speakers really good, but they're really impressive. There's no action going on at the moment, but the speakers on this thing are very impressive, and of course the display quality is excellent. Okay. All right.
He's fast and she's weird.
Well.
Alrighty. So the dual speakers are great. They're a win. Definite win. The power button is right here, which is really a perfect placement. Like, it's not high. Like the power button on my Note 9 is a little high, but this one is in a perfect spot. So good luck OnePlus on the power button placement. It's not high at all. It's very easily reachable. The build quality on this device is excellent. I can't show you that because I have a case on here because the phone is a little slippery for me. So I usually keep cases on my phone also to protect my device. You're gonna pay this kind of money for a device, you need to protect it. So, but the build quality is excellent. It has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and on the back. So the build quality, you're not gonna have a problem with that. The software, let's talk about the software. The software, so it's running Android 9.0 Pie out of the box, but Oxygen OS is running on top of Android 9.0 Pie. So Oxygen OS is basically very, very close to stock Android, except Oxygen OS has, a lot more features than just regular bone stock, stock Android, which is, for me, stock Android is just boring. Not enough customization at all for me. And I particularly like some features. Like, it don't have to be 100 features, but you got to have more than maybe 2 or 3. It's just not enough. So Oxygen OS is excellent. The phone is very fast and very smooth. Let me just open up some apps to show you the speed. So I'll open up AccuWeather. See how fast that opened up? Extremely quick. Let's open up Amazon. Boom. Like, it don't take no time whatsoever. Try YouTube. Boom. Open. See eBay. Look how fast the thing open. It's just blazing fast. Just blazes through everything. Kindle. Boom. Open. Just doesn't take any time to open up anything. It's just very impressive. Spotify. Boom. Open. So, very quick. Internet. Open that up. Boom. Then you see the scroll. It's just buttery smooth. So the software has been excellent. If you want a smooth, fast software experience, this is the device you want to get. Even though my Note 9 is fast and smooth as well, but this is smoother because that 90 hertz refresh rate. Okay. All right, next, the price. Now, like I said before, I got the 6 gig 128 variant, which is I think about $630 or $36. Not bad at all for what you're getting. You're getting a whole lot, so that's not bad at all. So the price is considerably cheap, especially comparing these flagship specs to other devices, which are going to cost you anywhere between $1,000 to $1,400, which I think is outrageous for a device. No device should be costing over $1,000. So it's nice to know that OnePlus is a company you can get flagship specs, but you can get it for a far less money. You can spend a lot less money. Samsung, they make great, excellent devices. They really do, and they put a lot of features and they pack their phones with a lot of stuff. But $1,000 is just too much. They really need to calm down and bring their prices down, because other companies are coming out with a lot of similarities to theirs. A lot of basic stuff that people like. Wireless charging, in-display fingerprint sensor, big battery, stereo speakers, great displays. They're putting a lot of things that people want in their devices, but they're charging way less. And if Samsung keeps going in the wrong direction, a lot of people are just going to stop buying their devices and they're going to start buying the cheaper ones, because it makes no sense to have to pay that much for a device. Next thing, I love the wide angle lens on the camera. You have one wide angle, you have one ultra wide, which is cool. I like that a lot. The next thing I like is that this OnePlus, they do frequent software updates. So I would get Android Q on here long before I get it on my Note 9, because Samsung has always been very slow when it comes to updates. But OnePlus is not slow on updates. They update their phones very frequently, which is good. And I believe they give at least 2 or 3 years of software updates. Just not showing that, but I know definitely 2. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 9. Also, the in-display fingerprint scanner is very fast, which I showed you. I'll turn it off again to give you an idea. You could double tap it. Boom. See how fast it came on? Now, usually if you have it in your hand and you just tilt it, you see the screen will come on, and then you just put your finger on it. But I just did it this way because I'm not actually holding it in my hand. So I pressed the power button. Boom. Right there. See how fast that came open? I believe OnePlus has the fastest in-display fingerprint sensor on the market, because it's instant. As soon as you touch it, it comes open. So if you put it in the exact right spot, it's 100% accurate. Now, there's been times when I haven't put my finger exactly where it needs to go and it wouldn't open, but that's just me. You just got to put it where it's supposed to go. If you put it where it's supposed to go, it'll come on immediately. So that is extremely impressive. This phone also has facial unlock. Now, the facial unlock is not as secure as the fingerprint sensor, but it's a convenience. When you want to open your phone fast, all you got to do is press the power button, look at it, and it'll pop right open. Now, let me see if I can do this, because I'm behind this camera. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to hit the power button. Now, look up here. The camera will pop up at the top. Did you see it? All right, I'm going to do it again. Look right up here at the top of the phone. Now, I hope you saw that. It's super, super ridiculously fast. And the camera pops up and goes down so fast. It's ridiculous. Now, you may say, well, I don't want, moving parts on my phone. But that camera module is very, very durable. They've tested it where it held up a 50-pound cement block. It's durable. It ain't going to easily break. Also, it has drop detection, which means if, say, you knock the phone slips out of hand and get ready to hit the ground, before it even hits the ground, the camera recesses back into the phone. I've tried that. It does work. And I'm not saying when you get it, go out there and drop it and see if it recesses. But you can just hold it in your hand and drop it to your other hand. And before it hits your hand, it's already back inside the phone. So that's impressive. That was a good choice by OnePlus to do that. So that facial unlock is very impressive. It's good for 350,000 up and down. So it's good for 5 years if you constantly use it. Now, I don't use it all the time. I'm a fingerprint sensor guy, but it's nice to have the convenience if you want it. So now, basically I'm pretty much finished. This phone is a monster. It's a beast, and it's dirt cheap. Okay, I believe you can get the 12 gig 256 gig for $700, and the 8 gig 256 internal storage for like $680. So it's still considerably cheap compared to these other, like the Note 10 Plus that just came out. That phone is $1,100, and if you add in tax, it's getting closer to $1,200. So there are cheaper alternatives with quality attached to it, so you don't have to pay these ridiculous prices for these devices anymore. You can get flagship specs for a lot less money. Okay, so that's basically my review of the OnePlus 7 Pro. I'm very impressed with this device. If there's some things I missed, I apologize, because this video is already long enough as it is, so I'm sure I was going to miss something. But I hope you enjoyed my review of the OnePlus 7 Pro. Feel free to like this video if you like what you saw. Also subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content. Hit that notification bell, press all, that way you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Of course, you can share it if you like, and also please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll definitely respond to comments that I get. Once again, I'd like to thank my subscribers, and I just want to say I appreciate your support. God bless you all. Peace.